I think the Minister of Finance asked the governor to take house prices into account in setting monetary policy. The governor was right to say, look, monetary policy isn't the right instrument to deal with house prices. He's quite right about that. The basic issue in New Zealand for house prices, as I suspect also in Sydney, where I think you are, is the availability of land. Recently, I found there was a series of sections, lots available in a place called Papakura, which is a suburb some 30 kilometres from the centre of Auckland, selling for almost 1 million Kiwi dollars per 400 square metres. That's about a tenth of an acre in the old terminology. For $1 million New Zealand dollars to buy a bare section, that's not a house, it's a bare section of a tenth of an acre, 30 kilometres from the CBD is outrageous. Now, monetary policy won't fix that. The only thing that will fix that is relaxing the boundary around Auckland and using some of the spare land to build houses.
Hey, Don, income inequality and the affordability issues in the housing market in your country and globally, for that matter, made worse by COVID, just really serves to illustrate this issue. What can be done to narrow the gap in meaningful terms, in policy terms? And can policies like China's common prosperity perhaps point the way forward?
Well, I think in New Zealand, there's a lot of talk about income inequality. Income inequality hasn't changed very much, but what has changed is wealth inequality, and that is very much driven by the housing market. There's been this extraordinary rise in house prices. I think comparing New Zealand with other OECD countries, we've had a faster growth of house prices over the last 30 years than other OECD countries. And that has caused an enormous wealth windfall for people like me who own a house and disadvantage those who don't own a house. So that's been a source of enormous social stress. And until they fix that problem, most of the Prime Minister talks about social poverty and child poverty, etc. She won't fix that until she is willing to fix the house prices. And frankly, the only effective way of doing that is not tinkering with monetary policy, but fixing the land market. If she does that, house prices can return to something more like normalcy. I mean, I think I'm right in saying that in most markets, affordable houses are regarded as those where the median house price is about 3 or 4 times median household income. In Auckland right now, that ratio is 12 times, and that's quite outrageous.